shot here. Oh, you're gonna get a 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 shot here.
Welcome to the No Shot NBA podcast with Chuck and Duck. And engineer Ben behind the scenes.
Welcome back to the No Shots podcast. This is the second part of a two-parter. Coming up, you got the playoff concerns, and then some baseball talk, some predictions, some trivia. Let's see how it goes. Let's jump back into it. All right, moving forward. Quick shots. Playoff concerns.
There's 21 potential playoff teams here.
21.
So we're going to each run through, each randomize, pick 7 teams. No one was allowed their hometown romp team, though
No.
Danny was very upset at Ben's draw.
Oh, yeah.
And I offered it to trade.
Ben's got like 5 of his 7 favorite
Probably
I
basketball
do have a
teams.
lot of my favorite teams.
They have too
plus
many
the
favorite
Celtics and the
teams.
Knicks.
Yeah, I don't think we ever explained this bit on the pod, but Ben has 8 different teams they root for
Yeah, well.
on a night-to-night basis.
Yeah. So we're going to run through, just quick shot, some
Quick shot, baby.
playoff concerns, our playoff concerns for
got
them looking
concerns.
forward.
Yep.
You know,
Here's the concern about these teams.
I think I have a little concern.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run through them. Maybe we'll talk about some a little more than others, but
Some
yeah,
banter?
we each got 7 teams, so
Yep.
we're gonna run through
21.
'em. So who wants to start? Not me. And it's Danny.
It's Danny.
You lost no.
I was not looking at them, and
they did nose
go.
Those goes.
They
All right, let's
fucking
go
nose go,
clockwise after Danny.
So who's after Danny?
You.
Damn it.
Well, you can go last if you want.
No,
All right,
okay.
does it matter the order of the teams I do it? Are
No,
we doing random?
Doesn't matter to me. I have mine in order of best to worst, but
You
do
have
it.
yours in order of best to worst. Should we do best to worst?
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. What's my best team?
What's the best record team you got?
Let me
pull up
check the
standings
records.
if you
You
want.
have- oh
I have
boy,
Bucks,
the standings
Nuggets.
are just a clusterfuck.
Yeah, kind of.
Just pick whichever team you think's the best. You got the Nuggets over here. Why not?
All right,
Yeah,
let's
right?
do the
go with the
Nuggets.
Nuggets. Yeah.
All right, Nuggets are kind of phoned in, so let's get this one out quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have much playoff concerns for this team, so I just wrote down a freak injury.
Okay.
I mean, the Nuggets, I just feel like they're the favorite, like they're the team to beat right now.
As we
So-
discussed on the last pod.
I mean, there is probably something if I wanted to like dive nitty-gritty, but we're quick shotting this. So I wrote down the freak injury. I phoned in the Nuggets.
All right.
Phoned this one in.
I think that's totally fair.
Fair.
I
Why not?
think.
a couple of these may be phoned in.
I
maybe
guess you
phoned
could.
out.
okay.
I guess you could say their depth. They've got a
Depth,
few
yeah.
young players that are going to have to play some minutes,
Oh
but
yeah,
I don't think it's a big deal because if they get into trouble, they're just going to play their main guys.
exactly.
Jamal Murray is injured right now, but he should be back.
Exactly. He'll be back. Hopefully.
So I think that's a good
Ooh.
one to phone in.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Nuggets. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not super concerned about them. All right. Chuck is next.
Chuck, you want to go?
Son of a bitch.
Chuck,
Okay, I
can
guess
you do something
I
for
guess
me?
my first team is the Thunder.
OKC.
Now, there was an obvious one here, which is the rebounding. Of course, they're
Okay.
terrible at rebounding. And I think, yeah, they do lack some size. But I kind of wanted to go with a little different angle. And so my big concern is, will the energy play hold up in the playoffs?
It's a good question.
This is
Yeah.
a team built on a lot of kind of no-name players. You've got, Kenrick Williams, Aaron Wiggins,
Yeah.
Jalen Williams, Isaiah Joe, Kaysen Wallace.
Wallace.
Those guys are 21, 20, 24, 25, 29. So I guess
Yep.
this is the second youngest team. They are second in the league in steals. They're second in the league in points per possession off steals, first in deflections, first in recovered loose balls, second in recovered loose balls, first in contested shots. So they just kind of a little bit remind me of the Grizzlies teams from the past couple of years.
The John Morant.
John
games?
Morant, where they're
Morant.
the second team in the conference.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they rely on a lot of hustle
Yeah.
plays. And I think as teams slow down in the playoffs
Postseason.
and the offenses are turning the ball over less and are more controlled over the game, they could run. These guys are just so unproven that
hmm
I just don't know what's going to happen to some of them in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I do think
I
that,
agree with that.
even a somewhat deep run, though, will still be a victory for them.
Oh, yeah.
I think for sure. I think making it
Yeah.
out of the first round would be
It's
a victory.
victory.
But if
Yeah,
I
I
was
agree.
going to say, they're fighting for the number 1 seed right now, even though they just sat players in back-to-back games.
Betting.
If you're like,
Okay.
one of those people who's like, they're a number 1 seed, Western Conference Finals. I know they don't have to make it.
No, but,
But
it's
if that's their
different-
goal, my concern, obviously the rebounding, but will some of these role players hold up in those key moments?
Yeah.
Because like I said, second youngest team, I also have worries about Chet, right?
Mhm.
Like, let's see here. 22 times this year, he's scored 14 points or less. And only 6 times has he climbed to 25 points or more. It'd be nice if they had a secure third scorer, but they just don't really. Hayward, who's supposed to be like some veteran presence on the team, I mean, I didn't count the stats from his last couple games, but he's at 17 minutes a game, 3.7 shots. He's shooting 39% from the field, 32% from 2,
Yeah, I mean,
4.5 points a game.
uh,
He has been not good at all. He looks totally washed, to be honest. So I'm just worrying if,
he's 34.
and the injury, it's never the same after the injuries.
Yeah.
But I'm just a little concerned about this youth and that kind of hustle play that works. We see this a lot of time. It's not just the Grizzlies, but they reminded me of the Grizzlies. You see this all the time. Young hustle team has great regular season.
Yeah.
But come playoff time, when things
Slow down.
slow down, they get a little more complicated.
Yep.
hmm
There's
More
way more
mistakes.
pressure,
Yep.
more mistakes.
Would you
It doesn't
compare
look
them
so smooth.
also to like the Kings last year? A little bit?
A little bit, but Sabonis has been in the league for a bunch of years.
Yeah.
This
True.
team is
Been in the
really
playoffs.
young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think you can make that kind of comparison in the sense that the Kings did do a lot of hustle things last year
Right.
that got them to that point, and they were just super healthy.
And had the energy, the health.
And the energy.
Yeah, they were like the healthiest team.
But even some of those Kings guys have been around longer than this team. But I
Yeah.
think that's a decent comparison. Yeah. I didn't feel like the Kings were phased at all last year, really, though.
Yeah, I was honestly surprised
if-
they had lost that series.
If Fox doesn't injure his finger, I think
Yeah.
they win the series.
Yeah.
Just that one finger.
But you see this all the time.
Mhm.
So that's, I think they could just get punked on the boards, but I think overall, like, it would be the boards thing is like fixable if you think about it, right?
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's say they get mashed on the boards by the Lakers in the first round or something. It's like, okay, we know. But if, some of these role player guys don't show up very well, now you're starting to question, how's the depth working on this team? Do we need, like, is there improvement coming from Kendrick Williams and Aaron Wiggins and Jalen Williams and Isaiah Joe and Cason Wallace? Or are they is that, now this is a question of when is the moment not going to be too big for them? Is it
Yeah.
the following year? Is it the next year? Like, how long are we giving this? Not that that's like a pressure decision that they have to make if they flame out.
They do have time on their
But
side.
they did create, they're gonna create more expectations for themselves based on the way that they played this regular season. So if next year it looks the same, now more pressure is going to be applied to the situation.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do not have concerns over Shea or J-Dub. I think those
J-Dub.
guys are going to be
Oh, yeah, those
rock
guys are awesome.
solid.
I agree.
But even I could see J-Dub having a struggle game
Oh, yeah.
or two. Like, he's young enough. Like, it's
Yeah,
going to
For
happen.
sure.
But that's what I mean. That stuff probably could cost them a series. That and the rebounding. So
Yeah.
that's what I got.
That's fair. I agree with that.
Me too.
Good concerns. All right.
All right, you ready
Mac.
for this?
What you got, DeMarco?
So I did a little bit here.
Uh-oh.
I went from all my teams. I assigned each one of them a horror movie, and I gave them all a tagline
Oh,
to relate to their potential playoff struggles. So we start with the Celtics. Nightmare on Elm Street.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Nightmare at the Garden.
Are
It's
you
been so long since I've seen them. Which one is that?
It's got Freddy
Freddy
Krueger,
Krueger.
and
Okay.
and he's invading their dreams. My tagline is, "Are you sure you're still awake? Are you sure you're awake?" Stellar play from a stellar lineup for the Celtics this season. Their 60-16 record is tucked away as the best in the business. Porzingis and Drew Holiday have been awesome, to say nothing of Derek White. Everything's in place for this team to realize its full potential and cruise to another finals berth and, dare I say, a championship for the first time.
Ooh.
My main concerns would be the ghosts of playoffs past, like
course.
last year's Heat collapse and the loss to the Warriors in 2022. With the combined forces of a team that's never been better, I'm confident they can overcome their demons, slay Freddy Krueger, and make it out of the East. However, once they do, they might just realize they're still inside of a nightmare.
Ooh.
Missoula has never been to the finals as a head coach. What will that look like? We simply don't know.
Oh, so you're saying Missoula?
Yeah, and my concern is, I'm not super concerned about them in the East, but once they, if they have to go up against Denver in the finals, I'm a little concerned. But it's a minor concern for sure.
Ooh, okay.
And also just the mental aspect
Yeah.
with these players. I don't know what happens, but at the end of
Disappearing.
games,
It does. It gets
Yeah.
funky.
the ISO ball,
I agree.
the disappearing. Yeah.
That has to be it.
Pyrenees.
They just get out of themselves sometimes. Like you mentioned. That belongs on blurbs.com, by the way. Yeah, they get away from themselves, and it's like, what are we for, stretches? I do
Mhm.
feel like there's less of that this year, and I love the way that they respond to that this year. But
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to fault them for besides losing to the Hawks twice.
after we had the conversation last time about them and how they're sort of missing that top tier talent of, like we said,
Super team.
yeah, they're not a super team, and they don't have an MVP on their roster, which is, like we said, that's one team in the 21st century that's won without a current an MVP or
Former
a
MVP.
former MVP.
Yeah.
So I am just, and there's, my brother after those Atlanta losses last week is texting me like, oh my God, I can't handle this team anymore. And I think I'm over it. I
don't think that was a big
I
deal.
know. I don't care. I think I've hit the stage where this might be the best regular season team I get to watch for a really long time.
Yeah.
You don't know what's going to happen. And I'm just trying to enjoy it. They might not win it all, but I don't think, with the expectations are higher than the actual, say, talent on the court. And they've done a really good job this year. And I just want to enjoy the ride because it's too stressful anymore. They're probably not good enough to win it, but I just want to enjoy the team because they're really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm letting
Yeah.
go
There
of
you go.
the
Good.
expectations.
Let it
That's
go.
my new mental state.
I think that's the way to be. That's how Tatum is,
It is how Tatum is, and
Sometimes.
they're still young, and well, the two players are basically just entering their prime. So who knows what happens? The league's getting better every year. This might be their best shot. Maybe next year's
Yeah.
their best shot, and maybe that's
Yeah.
it. But this is the way NBA teams go. So, it's been a super fun regular season. They've only lost 16 games. Every
Pretty
game.
good.
It's amazing.
I'm done reacting like every game is just a
Yeah.
tragic
Oh.
loss.
They've
Okay.
clinched the best record in the league at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm in enjoyment mode because
Enjoy it.
it's not
Enjoy while
it's
you
not
have it.
often you get a team that plays like this,
Why
plays
not?
this well. So
Why not?
all those concerns are totally fair though.
Yeah. Fair concerns. Wait, what was your concern, Ben? I guess your main one.
that their mental state is going to betray themselves, and Joe Mazzulla is inexperienced in the finals.
Okay. I'm writing down
one
everyone's
thought
concerns.
one thought on Joe though. I think he's been really good this year.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Mazzulla.
like, it's nice to have him in here for a second year.
And
He kind of went through that trial by fire last year.
Yeah, well, he's thrown into it
Oh,
like
yeah.
a week before the training camp started.
Yeah.
He looks like a super. I think he's a good coach. I think he's a good coach.
Mhm.
Um,
I think so too.
and I think the fact that they've changed coaches a couple times and still have the same problems tells me that it's the players
Mhm.
that have to figure it out. It's
Yeah.
always the players that have to figure out at the end of the day. But I think Joe does do a lot of good things out there, and I like his mental state towards the team, where he's like putting certain focuses and the way that they have used Porzingis and put Derek White. And last night was a weird game against OKC because they seem to be like not running and just working on they experiment a lot right now, which I think is good for playoff time. Last night they were doing some weird stuff where they were like just not pushing the ball at all, like even more so than normal.
Okay.
Where it looked like they were just working on half court sets in the second half against the Thunder.
Huh.
So he likes to work on things, and I think we'll see come playoff time but I do think that a lot of the regular season has been about experimenting with things for them, which is kind of scary because if they can put it together and they can look at, hey, this worked here, this worked here, this worked here, let's do it now. And I expect them to go up a little bit of a level in the playoffs. But we'll see. Probably not good enough to beat Denver, but that's okay. Somebody's
okay.
got to lose in the finals.
I'm glad you're at peace.
I'm at peace. It's a really fun team. Fun
It is.
team.
It is.
All right.
All right, Danny,
Moving on. Who I got next?
who you got next?
I got the Milwaukee Bucks.
Whoa.
Whoa, Milwaukee
Coming off
Bucks.
2 losses to the Wizards and the Grizzlies.
Yeah, it's looking rough. I mean, I could have gone a lot of different directions with this one.
Yeah.
Could have said, like, some of their defensive problems, some of their scoring problems.
Yeah, isn't that weird? Like they fired their coach because the defense was so bad. The defense got a little better, but the offense got way worse.
Way worse, yeah.
Yeah. What is that?
I could have said Dame's inconsistent scoring,
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
I went Chris Middleton. He's just coming back from an injury. I feel like a lot of their playoff success gonna see if he could be the Chris Middleton of old,
Well, I'll tell you, he's not going to be of old, but he can still score.
He can still score. Yeah, I guess it just depends how good can he be in this upcoming postseason. I mean, all those other stuff matters, of course. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
But, yeah, I mean, having a good Chris Middleton takes a lot of pressure off those other things,
Definitely a solid third scorer.
They're going to need
Could
him.
super help things.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he runs a nice little pick and roll game
Yeah.
with Giannis,
More
too,
Giannis, yeah.
which is really helped them. I mean, in those finals a couple years ago, everyone forgets it. Everyone's like,
Yeah.
Drew was the second best player on that team, but Middleton went for 40, like,
Yeah.
or at least high 30s, like 2 times in that finals. Like, he was amazing.
He was really good.
So they're
So,
gonna
yeah.
need him to score because you don't trust any of those other guys to hit big shots out there, like Crowder and Connington. They just feel like I wouldn't. I'm super happy if they're shooting the ball. Whereas Middleton, you still gotta be concerned about. And he's a Celtics killer.
Yeah.
That guy plays, I don't know what it is. We got the wings to stop him, but he can't stop him. He kills us every time.
How do you feel about Middleton's defense?
Still decent defender
anymore.
At times.
I think he's slow. Like in a matchup with the Celtics, for example, like he can't keep up with either of our wings.
That's fair.
Mm-hmm.
But I think for them, they're gonna just need to outscore people.
Yeah,
like I think they're just gonna have to make tough shots. That's the only thing that keeps them in some of these games or winning some of these games is Dame hitting tough shots. And I mean, hopefully Middleton can add to the list.
Drew used to do that too.
Yeah.
And Dame's been inconsistent too.
Right.
Yeah,
but I agree.
Yeah, it's very concerning as well.
Middleton's a big swing player.
Yeah, he's a big swing.
I mean, he could be the difference between them bowing out before the conference finals or making it to the conference finals, if you want to even think about that way.
Exactly.
But
yeah.
I have a Dame stat here. If you discount 2 years ago when he only played 29 games, Dame's shooting his worst 2-point percentage in 9 years.
Oof. It's pretty concerning.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. He'll have games where he's like 3 for 17.
Yeah.
But he'll also have games where he looks totally lost for a half, and then all of a sudden it's like, holy shit, you can't stop
the
this
game
guy.
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's like the way every Celtics game
that.
has happened with him. He looks totally lost for 3 quarters. Fourth quarter, oh my god,
boom! It's Dame time.
I like the Middleton pick.
Thank you. All right, what you got next, Charles?
Me? Okay, I got the Clips here, I believe.
Clippers.
My concern is,
I'm definitely gonna win.
Are they?
Are they? And now, not.
No.
Can they flip the switch?
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's the big concern because
like
mid-November until the All-Star break, the Clippers went 33-10, best record in the West during that stretch. We're fighting for the number 1 seed.
And now they had it for a day. Now they sit 5 games back. They've got about a 2-game lead on the 4 seed. They have been 29th in defense since the All-Star break. They're 11-11 in that stretch. Disgusting. Where's the defensive part of that? What is that?
It's a malaise. And there's been multiple games Ty Lue has, after the game and the post game, has talked about identity. Here's a little quote from Ty Lue. And asked about having an identity. Right now, do we have an identity? I think, we're soft. That can be an identity if you want to call it that.
Ooh. Nice words from head coach Ty
Lue. More words. Like, we got to be tougher mentally and physically, but we do have an identity. When we were 26-5, we had a great identity. So you can't pick and choose when you want to lead. You can't pick and choose when you're going to have an identity. You can't pick and choose when you want to do things the right way. So just do the right things every night, and everything else will fall in order.
Who do you think he's talking about when he's talking about leading?
I feel like it's the whole team, man.
Because I could picture a locker room confrontation with Lue and Harden.
Well, let me tell you.
Harden's in LA. He has so many clubs he can go to.
And he really changed after the post All-Star break. He's shooting 40% from the floor.
Yeah, what?
He's a negative 3.2.
Bro, I'll see Harden out there chucking threes, and none of them will go in these days. I don't know.
I mean, they're allowing the second best percentage from 3. So teams are shooting the second best percentage from 3 post All-Star break. They were 5th in the league in defending the threes. 5th best at defending threes pre All-Star break.
Oof.
Kawhi has taken a little
Hate
step
to see
back, worried about the
Yeah.
knee soreness.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's been fine though. It's just he's shooting 31% from 3. So other than that, it looks fine. But they just go into a malaise, like that Kings game the other night. It was kind of close at the half, and then all of a sudden it was over.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It feels like
they
a
were
bunch of
mounting a
stretches
comeback and then just couldn't get over the
couldn't
hill.
get over the hump.
Yeah.
They
Couldn't get
just
over the
seem
hump.
to lose focus for stretches at a time.
Yeah.
I don't think it's anything structural because look at the team that
No, we
was 34
saw.
and 10. I mean,
We
maybe
saw the great, you know.
other than then maybe they're just getting old, you know, and it's harder to
They are
do
old.
for a whole season.
Yeah, well, if you
But-
think
Very,
it's a
very
switch,
old.
maybe they can turn that on for the playoffs and they're just like, oh, we're going to save our energy.
Maybe they can.
Maybe.
It's just-
But that
it's
seems
just
very
dangerous,
precarious
you
to
know?
me.
It's very
Yeah.
dangerous. It feels like they
Like-
tried to do that before, though.
There aren't a lot of
Yeah,
n-
exactly.
There haven't been a lot of teams in the history of the NBA that are good at flipping switches.
Well,
Like,
no,
yeah.
you need,
It's like
you need
Miami.
momentum.
Yeah, and you
Miami.
need the experience, and these guys haven't quite done it together
Yeah.
in that
Mhm.
way. Like Miami, they've been to 2 finals. Like
Yeah.
you kind of are always like
They could do
Okay.
that. That's
they need to
something
flip.
have
They
in
need to
their
flip the
bag.
switch too,
Back
but
pocket,
you
yeah.
trust them to kind of do it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
So yeah, they got to find that form. I feel like it's going to be hard to do that if they don't get any kind of momentum going here. They need some kind of momentum going.
Yeah.
At least like 1 or 2 good games. They've only had like one like really solid win post All-Star break. Was that they won by like 1 point against
was-
the Timberwolves.
Paul George had a crazy shot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Paul George's been really good post All-Star
Yeah,
break.
he has. He has.
It's like
Um,
when the Clippers are bad, Paul George is their best player.
Yeah. Exactly.
He's
He
real
had
good.
41 on Brandon Miller.
Yeah, he's shooting 60
Brandon Miller's
he's 23 points
Yeah.
a game, 66%
Brandon
true
Miller's
shooting, 47% from 3. Post All-Star break. He's been pretty darn good.
Yeah.
Weird
but-
team, man. Weird team.
Weird,
Ugh.
fun team.
They just lose it sometimes.
I
Yeah.
know.
So I think the focus thing, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I wouldn't trust them to flip it. And
No, yeah. I agree with you.
Kawhi's injury is just, I don't know. Maybe
It's
they're
also
just waiting
concern.
for the postseason, though. I don't know.
They're
That's
just
my
sitting
one
on
hope. You
their
know,
asses
that's what
waiting.
I'm clinging to.
That's what I
Hopefully.
got.
Yeah.
All right, what you got?
All right.
Mac.
Next up, Mac. Next up, we got the T-Wolves.
Uh-oh.
My spooky movie for the T-Wolves,
Which is?
Bride of Chucky. Are 2 stone cold killers better than 1? Maybe, until they turn on each other and tear each other apart.
Shoot.
Interesting note on Cat's absence. This is from the Minnesota Post, MinPost. Turnover ratio of the team has gone from 24th to 5th,
Ooh.
and their assist to turnover ratio moved from 23rd to 7th. So without Towns in the lineup, there's less turnovers, more ball movement, and outside shooting is up like a tick. And it's easier for them to match up with other teams, talk about spacing and all that. However, with Cat out, they've gone from 7th to 25th in free throw attempts and from 25th to 29th in accuracy of free throws.
Ooh.
Also, the 3-point shooting could be an anomaly. Jordan McLaughlin is around 60% on his last 21 threes. And like everyone else is also super high, like Monte Morris and Slow-Mo. So my concern, if Cat comes back, can they find a balance and get a sustainable offense going?
They need him.
Okay. So your concern is if Cat comes back.
Can they sustain what
Can
they're
they sustain?
they're
And
doing.
the offense too.
on the offense
Okay.
sustain? I just think they need Cat almost defensively.
Mm.
Weirdly enough, they need his scoring because it's hard with him because he is he gets reckless, and in big pressure spots he can be very reckless and he can disappear for like 3 quarters.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about is him going Chucky doll and
Yeah.
tearing up the game.
But I do think that you know, he's a top 30 player in the league, 30-ish. They need his shooting. I think
Yeah.
eventually that's going to show up when tougher teams lock them up on defense, and to stretch teams out. And I think it helps Naz Reid to be put in the bench role, and they need those two bigs if they're going to battle with Denver or the Lakers, I think, per se, because their fundamental strength on defense is just the amount of size that they have.
Yeah.
And I think that will, with them a little downsize, of course they're going to shoot better, but I am not sure the defense is going to be as tough
As Dom.
when they don't. Because he's done a decent job, Cat has, kind of in that roamer role.
Oh yeah.
Rob Williams role. Or he's taking the guy and Rudy can play the roamer role.
Yeah.
That kind of balance helps out when you've got two big guys down there who can kind of exchange roles like that. I think it's going to be tough for them to sustain formidable offense and the kind of defense that they need to sustain their little lackluster offense.
Yeah.
in against these really good teams in the playoffs.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
The No Shots podcast is brought to you by Dank Delish Coffee. Whether you need a jolt on the way to the office or in relax mode in the afternoon, Dank Delish Coffee is the only quality bag of Colombian home roasted beans that hits the spot just right. Roasted locally in Queens, New York, you can find Dank Delish coffee beans at dankdelish.com and have their deliciousness shipped right to your lovely abode. Start your morning with a cup of Delish. Why not?
Okay, fun Minnesota takes. Who's next? Oh, it's me.
It's you.
Shit. I did the Bucks last.
Yeah, Bucks were last.
All right, number 3, we got the Cleveland Cavaliers. Right behind the Bucks in the standings.
It's just wrong.
I could have done a lot of things with the Cavs. Could have gone a lot of different directions. They have a few concerns. Realistically, probably just the size of Garland and Donovan Mitchell come postseason. But I went unrealistic.
Oh boy.
I just wrote biggest playoff concern: running into the Knicks. Don't come a knocking. Their biggest kryptonite,
Kryptonite.
the Mecca, Madison Square Garden. They don't want to play there.
They don't want to see these Knicks.
They don't want to come to Dykeman.
Boy.
They don't want to come to Club 809.
40 Club. Yeah, that's all I got. Oh, trolling.
I haven't watched much Cavs this year, so I don't.
Yeah, I mean,
have
they've been
anything.
good. One of the better storylines of the year, which is how good they were when Mobley and Garland were out.
Right, but they've kind
To
of
me.
been declining recently.
Yeah, they've been
haven't they?
struggling a little bit, but a lot of teams in the East have been struggling.
True.
This recently.
It is like you said, a little bit of a malaise over the league in
Yeah,
March.
it really is.
Kind of like people
All right.
don't care as much.
I do
Yeah.
think,
What you got?
well, the problem is not that it's the Knicks. The problem is they're running basically the same goddamn team back at the Knicks.
Yeah.
And so here's some stats for you.
And I'm going to talk about the Knicks next, by the way.
Okay,
Whoa.
fun. Garland, Mitchell, Strus, Mobley, and Allen.
Yep.
Their
Best
starting lineup are a plus 0.3 net when they play together in 636 minutes. That's in the 46th percentile
Tough.
per cleaning the glass. The offense is in the 35th percentile. So they're going up against the Knicks. They're going to struggle because tough defense.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if we look at this, Mitchell, Strus, Levert, Dean Wade, and Allen have a plus 29.9
Wow.
net differential, 94th percentile. Most of that probably happened when
Those guys were out.
those guys were out.
Yeah.
Garland, Mitchell, Strus, Dean Wade, and Allen have a plus 25 net differential, 90th percentile.
So they got like lineups they could play with.
They do, but
But
problem
you
for
don't want
them-
to do that too much in the
problem-
postseason.
yeah, the problem for them is, and how do they not play their best, like
Guys,
their theoretical best
As
guys?
players, yeah.
Mhm.
But it's a struggle when they have those two bigs out there, because it's just you can't play in this league with two bigs that can't shoot.
They can't shoot.
So they're
Yeah.
also, since Garland and Mobley returned, they're only 14th in defense. They were second in the league before that.
Yeah,
So
crazy.
I don't know. This team's kind of just
Yeah.
they don't
Kinda rough.
have it. It's like they got a lot of good kind of individual talents, but when the pieces don't fit together,
Yeah.
and I think
puzzle's nothing.
when
right.
you play a team like, to bring this back to Danny's concern, when you play a team like the Knicks,
running into
who-
the Knicks, baby.
at least, may not, especially with the injuries, doesn't have the highest talent ceiling, but is super connected
Yeah.
and knows how to play. They know
Knows what
how
they're
they're going to play,
Mhm.
and they know what works.
Yeah.
They're just, unless you have top tier talent, which the talent disparity is just not, you could say the Cavs have, more star power, but not enough more star power than the Knicks
Yeah.
to just overwhelm them. And the offensive stuff, it's just, if you can't play offense against the Knicks, you're fucked.
You're fucked, buddy.
Yeah,
Yep.
because that defense will stranglehold you.
Sorry, Cleveland
So,
fans.
That's-
Sorry, Cleveland fans. It's too
Knicks
bad.
are 2-1 against the Cavs this year.
All
Yeah.
right.
All right, my turn.
Charlie,
Your turn, Chuck.
who you got?
Who do I have next? Oh,
Turn it over to Chuck.
Oh,
I got
Uh-oh.
the Pelicans.
New Orleans Pelicans.
What sound does a
baby.
pelican make?
Down by the
I just made that.
No, it's not Pelican. It was seagulls.
All right, this one's kind of spicy, and it's very simple. Are these guys ready for the smoke? Are they ready for this playoff
Are they
pressure?
ready for this smoke?
Is that a
Was that-
no,
pelican
that
sound?
was an ad. No,
Oh,
I'm trying to find it.
okay.
Here it comes.
It's like a cricket.
It's like a cricket.
What
yeah.
I'm doing don't sound right.
All right. Yeah, so are the Pelicans ready for the smoke? This might be the most theoretical team in the league. They just lost 3 in a row to fall to 7th. They have been kind of blown. They've kind of gotten their doors blown in the last 3 games too. They have the 6th best, probably changed after these 3 losses in a row, but this team has the 6th best net differential in the entire league.
Oh,
12th on O, 7th on D. And then yet I feel like nothing they do is trustworthy.
Yeah.
Of course, for this last stretch, Ingram's been out with a bone contusion in his knee, hasn't been playing, should return sometime next week. But let's just go over some of the things that have happened this season and lately. They were neck and neck in that Celtics game last weekend for a half. Then they scored 11 points in the third quarter.
oof.
Game was fucking over at that point.
Not getting it
They
done.
responded to that game by getting absolutely waxed in the first quarter by the Suns. That was the Devin Booker
Yeah.
52 points game.
Mm-hmm.
Their next game was against, I think, they played the Magic last night, who they were in it for a half, and then the Magic just flummoxed them in the second half. Zion had 8 turnovers. Other things that happened this season, got blown out by the Lakers in that play-in tournament semifinals game, 133-89. That was the biggest stage that
Oh,
team's
yeah.
ever been on with Zion.
Yeah.
Earlier in the season, they had that 20-point lead over the Nuggets, only have it erased and lose by 18.
Oof.
They got
Yeah.
trounced by the Bucks in the middle of the season, 141-117. They've blown the 4th most 10-point leads, 13 on the year. Against top 10 defenses, they're 23rd in the league.
Wow.
And yet, like, they've had some big wins this year.
Yeah.
3-1 against the Clippers. They've beaten Milwaukee, beaten Denver, Minnesota twice. They've beaten OKC. It's just, I feel like when the pressure hits a certain level or they start
Yeah.
to gain some steam, they just lose it really fast and they go on these bad stretches. And it's kind of what happens in the games too. Their offense gets a little, like, they have such an ability to play such great defense. They've got these like awesome wings. Dyson Daniels, Trey Murphy, Ingram, Herb Jones, Larry Nance, and even Najee Marshall. Like, all those guys can be problematic to these wing defenders.
Yeah.
And yet sometimes I feel like their offense just leads their defense into, their offense gets very sloppy. Sometimes they just jack up shots. And then the defense suffers because of that. So it's another like little bit of focus, or I don't know. It's just this theoretical team. And I feel like, here's a question for y'all. Which team would you be the most surprised to advance one round? Your options are the Pels, Thunder, Denver, Minnesota, Clips, Mavs, Suns, Kings, Lakers, Warriors.
Right.
Okay.
Don't even think about matchup wise. Just think about the teams.
Right.
Probably the Pelicans.
Sure. I guess.
I
or
think
maybe
they're either the
Warriors.
first or the second pick.
Yeah.
I think the Kings
The Kings.
are the
Pelicans
second
or
worst.
Kings, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Warriors like won a round. Though.
Yeah.
I know their
Yeah,
matchup's
for
not
sure.
going to be very good, and they're in the play-in, so it's not.
Yeah.
But if I was just taking it at face value and not thinking about the seeding,
Matchups, yeah.
right, I'd be most surprised if
Maybe the Suns.
maybe the Suns.
Although
Yeah.
if they play the Clippers, then all bets are off.
So, yeah, I'm just not sure they're ready for this playoff environment intensity that I feel like some of the other teams are going to go up a level. I just don't know if this team has it in it to go up a level.
Yeah.
Fair.
Fair enough. I agree. I agreed with that.
And every time it feels like they've needed to match an intensity to get through a game, I feel like they get waxed.
Yeah.
Like in that Celtics
Yeah, I
game.
don't trust them.
They're just completely untrustworthy.
Yeah.
Like in that Celtics game, they were neck and neck. It was a really good game for a half. The Celtics, Derek White hit a 3-pointer to take the lead at the end of the second quarter, and then the third quarter came out, and they just had nothing.
Nothing.
Part of that's the Celtics, but you got to stay competitive. You know, I feel like
Yeah.
even good teams stay competitive, and I don't trust. Like Danny said, I don't trust this team.
Don't
So
trust them. Like Metro.
that's kind of my concern. Are they ready for this? I don't think so.
I don't know.
Got to start somewhere, though, right?
Yep.
All right, Ben.
All right, here we go. Danny's Knicks and my Knicks. My movie for the Knicks, Saw.
Oh.
Finally out of the dungeon, they still might bleed to death.
Uh-oh.
It's simple. Randall is out for the season expecting shoulder surgery. Josh Hart is now a concern for a wrist problem. OG Anunoby and Mitchell Robinson continue to be questionable. They still have a positive net rating with Randall off the floor. It goes down from 6 to 3.7, but it's getting harder and harder to imagine them finding sustained postseason success with this many guys going down. Maybe they should have kept Malachi Flynn. Just as a backup. But yeah, basically just the injuries. I loved where this team was going until these guys started going down. And Brunson is amazing, but the East is heavy with competition.
Yeah. Yeah, I tend to agree with you there.
They just don't have the guns.
They don't have the guns.
They don't have their guns.
They don't got their
Yeah.
guns. Yeah,
Right.
Randall was ruled out for the season, rest of the season this morning.
Yeah.
Hart thinks they got to play the rest of the season like OG and Randall aren't coming back.
Yeah. He
So
said that.
that's a little bit concerning from inside the locker. Not because it's a concerning comment to make for the team or anything, but like
Just the status of those players.
I
Yeah.
know
It doesn't
This-
sound good. Is this
Yeah.
a product of Thibodeau ball?
OG consistently misses time all the time.
Yeah.
That is true.
Randall, I think this is just
Wear and tear.
weird year.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
it's wear and tear, but
wear and tear.
what was I can't even
Happened
remember
last year,
how did the injury happen? I can't remember.
I have no idea.
It's the shoulder, right?
Shoulder.
I
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a physical player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So but, I don't think it's long term something to worry about, but it's
well, he
it just sucks for the season, really.
opted not to have the
Yeah, that
surgery
was the
earlier
controversy.
in the season so that he could play.
Yeah.
And now he has to get the surgery.
So he
Yeah.
tried it. He tried
He
it.
tried,
You gotta give him credit for
Yeah.
trying it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just sucks that they don't have their guns because I think they could have made, they probably would be sitting in the 3 or the 2 seed right now if they
Yeah.
had their guys.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
you could really
Make
see
some
them making
noise.
the conference finals.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's disappointing for sure.
But don't count us out.
But don't
We're
count us
still
out. We're
making
still
the
there. We're
conference.
right there. And there's always next year.
Celtics fans
But
are
I-
still scared to see us.
No, we're not. Not now.
I don't know.
Earlier. No, I'm not now. You can get a game or two. It's not you're not winning the series.
I don't know.
No shot.
I don't
Yo,
know.
Absolutely
I
no
don't
shot.
seeing us.
Okay,
You don't wanna
Homers,
see
come
us in
back
the
this
Garden.
time. Homers,
Next
it's not
month.
happening.
All we got to do is win one in Boston, and then it's our
it's
garden now.
Our
No.
garden now, baby.
Not scared of the way they're currently constructed.
Julius, here's a quote from Julius. Choosing to get surgery was my only option at this point. It's frustrating, but I'm at peace knowing I tried everything.
That's
Poor guy.
okay.
But,
Right, poor guy.
shout out to him. Hero of Manhattan.
King of New York.
King of New York.
He's got some new poster boards up in the subway.
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to see it.
I've only seen the Jimmy Hulu ads.
They took down the Jimmy ones and they put
Oh,
up
yeah?
the Randall ones.
Oh,
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even though this is Williams.
The guy I saw the guy taking down the Jimmy one and I almost stopped and asked, "Hey, what are you doing with that?
You
Can I
should
have it?"
Oh, you should take it. Totally could have gotten that. Maybe unless he wanted it for
Just
his boy.
scored it.
Yeah.
Probably went right
But
to the trash.
I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. That's it. That's got to be it.
That's it.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's gotta be it.
Otherwise,
I agree.
yeah. Hopefully, we'll get to see this team healthy
Eh,
at some point in the future.
eh.
Or
All
with
right,
it.
moving on.
Okay, move on.
I got the Phoenix Suns.
Woohoo.
Could put a lot of things for them. Still got defense, 3-point shooting. I put finishing games. Team just disappears. Play in games. What's going on?
Dude,
What is
I don't
going
know.
on?
What's going on with these Suns?
Maybe it's
Dead air.
It could be the lack of a real point
a
guard.
real point guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely could.
Because
be
it would help Durant
Oh,
and Booker get
so
into some
much.
sets.
And
some
Grayson
sets.
Allen, too.
Yeah.
Good old Grayson.
Yeah.
What is Nurkic distributing the ball?
They are the worst team in the fourth quarter. They're
Yeah.
30th in net rating in the fourth quarter.
Horrible.
You wouldn't be shocked. Oh, well, scratch that. Never mind. Go on. I was just going back to your thing about getting out of the first round.
If
If
they
the
get
Suns
out,
got out of the how do you envision them winning a series?
Booker and Durant just go
they just
nuclear.
go crazy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
That's pretty much
they
all they
tried
got.
last
all they
year,
got.
and it didn't
And
work.
I mean, they
Beal,
got the
maybe
first
Beal.
round though.
Oh yeah, maybe Beal. They did
Yeah.
get out the first round.
Yeah.
But they played an injured Clippers team. I think if the Clippers were healthy, the Clippers were winning that
Oh,
series.
Yeah.
Maybe even if
Probably.
just Kawhi
Yeah.
stayed healthy, they win that series.
Did they have Paul George? They had Westbrook and George. I think they had Paul George.
Yeah,
George?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't he get injured? Or in, like,
Maybe
the
he
second-
did.
Maybe
yeah,
in the
was it, like the last
series.
3
Yeah.
games. There
Who
was like neither. of
fucking
them.
Yeah, it
knows
was just
with that
Westbrook
team?
trying to
Westbrook
carry them.
trying
Oh, I'm just it's inevitable.
so
but-
sick of this team.
I know.
All right, that's what I got. Moving
Okay,
on.
I think. Well, yeah. I do think it can be fixable. I feel like the problem is sometimes with them is their pace.
Yeah.
Like it's a little bit
They have no
Celticsy the way they just like really slow it down. And I just remember in those games against the Nuggets that they won last year, it was like up
Yeah.
and down, up and
Yeah.
down, up and down. They
Yeah.
gotta play with way more tempo because when those guys are scary when it's all happening fast,
Yeah.
quick decisions. But this comes back to the fact that they just haven't played with each other. It's
Yeah.
hard to play fast when you don't know, how your teammates connect with you and your game, and you don't know what everyone's doing, because then it turns into a chaotic distress,
Yeah.
and things
Mhm.
start taking bad shots. To know yourselves and to go fast is a totally different story. But if they do go fast, it does put Booker and KD in situations where the defense is really scared because they're not set up. But
Yeah.
I feel like it's been just a little too easy for defenses to calculate their ISO games when they're running some of these half-court sets. They don't do a good job of getting into their actions, and just a lot of too much Nurkic. I mean, it's problematic because the only thing he can do on offense is kind of run this point forward, point center thing. But I feel like sometimes it's too much. He's just not that effective of a player. The problem is when you don't do that, there's nothing else he can do on the court. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. Okay.
Okay.
Bad vibes over there in Phoenix.
Yeah. Although they look good the last couple games.
Okay. The sun's
They
rising.
killed the Cavaliers last night. Okay.
Who you got, Chucky?
I guess I have the Magic. And I'm going with Franz Wagner's shooting.
Where has it gone? Where will
Okay,
it come back?
This doesn't count last night's game, but guess how many 3-pointers Franz has hit in his last 20 games?
1,
It's more than that.
5.
More than that.
Wait, in his last 20 games?
20 games.
20.
That is a lot of games.
10.
Oof.
Yeah, that's half a 3 a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
13 of those 20 games, he hit 0.
Jeez.
He's shooting 16% in that stretch. This is a guy who hit around 36% of his threes his rookie and sophomore season on roughly the same attempts. He's 28% on the year. We know Orlando's offense isn't very good, 20th in offense. And if you're going to be kind of a bad offensive team, you need your stars to bail you out.
Oh, yeah.
And if he can't shoot, they're going to have a lot of problems.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's got the ball in his hands a bunch. Defenses are going to be able to sag. And it's already making, I think it's making life tough for Paolo. Paolo is under 50% from 2-point range. But teams are just going to be really able to pack the paint on them.
That's surprising
if he
for a
can't
guy
shoot.
who, even at the rim and stuff? Paolo?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because usually those big guys get high percentages.
He's got the dunks. I think it's a lot of the mid-range stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But this is what happens when your team can't shoot. Teams can really just pack it in there. If he had some space to work with down there, this probably wouldn't be happening. I think it is surprising, though. I am kind of shocked. But they're going to need a consistent second score to step up. And if they have the Knicks in the first round, it's going to be one ugly fucking series.
It really is.
Seriously.
But I can't imagine them really winning a series because they just can't score. 25 times this year, Orlando has scored less than the league worst Memphis Grizzlies. We're at 105.9 points per game. Some of those games are wins.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're wins, they're wins.
Yeah,
They're so good at defense.
Yeah.
But I just think if they're going to make any noise or look even competent in this first round of the playoffs, they're going to need Franz to hit some shots and step up. So that's my big concern.
It's a good concern. I agree with that.
Yeah. Well
It's
played.
a huge concern.
Okay, are you ready?
What we got next?
You ready for you ready for the other Florida team?
Oh, yeah.
Back to back.
Florida from Love.
Back to back, the Miami Heat. My movie for the Heat. Any guesses?
Oh, son of a bitch.
You'll never guess this one.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No, but I did consider that. The Silence of the Lambs.
Oh.
Who are these guys anyway? Anthony Hopkins won Best Actor for his Hannibal Lecter portrayal, which only covered 24 minutes and 52 seconds of screen time.
Crazy.
Caused a big controversy. The Heat have only one lineup that's played together for more than 100 minutes this season.
Wow.
You know who it is? Rozier, Robinson, Jovic, Butler, and Adebayo.
Jovic is weird too because like he like starts some games and then he never plays in others.
Yeah, it's very. I guess they're waiting for Hero to come back and replace him, but I don't know. And that lineup, by the way, gets outscored 6.7 points per 100 possessions. Their record is dismal against the best teams.
You should have.
Yep.
Sorry. Continue.
Against Boston, Minnesota, Clippers, OKC, Denver, Cleveland, and Milwaukee, their combined record is 3-14. A couple of young players in Jovic and Jaime Jaquez have shown flashes of greatness, but they're unproven in the playoffs. We all know Jimmy, and you never know. It's not unlikely he'll rip his face off and eat you alive. It seems more likely, though, that this one will probably be a subpar sequel.
Oh.
You should have put Scooby-Doo on Zombie Island. That should have been the movie.
Oh, that's a whole bag of lore right there.
Yeah.
That requires a dissection. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just the lack of we don't know who this team is. And sometimes they don't show up until the postseason.
But it's a different cast.
And it's a different cast than previous years. So
And
we just don't know.
it's just hard to do what they did 2 years in a row.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I'd agree.
I mean, they're the zombie Heat, but I just think at some point, like, for instance, they made the bubble run to the finals, and the next year they got waxed in the first round by the Bucks.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of, I just think it's hard to pull it out of your ass like that every year. And they're not, if they can get up to maybe the 6th seed and they get the Cavs or the Knicks in that first round series, then maybe they're the Heat are they're everyone's kryptonite except for the Nuggets or the
Wait,
Lakers.
Can you explain the zombie island? Is it just because they're zombies?
Yeah, just because they're
Oh, okay.
zombies.
Because it turns out
They're
the
coming
zombies
back
are
to
the
life.
good guys. You remember that?
What?
Oh,
It turns out the zombies are the good guys.
Well, in their story, they are.
Yeah, that's true. And they are living in a
I
I
swampy
just think
area.
it's tough to do this so many times in a row, and they're just gonna gut out wins. And
Yeah.
but I am a little concerned with the supporting cast. I think is a little not weaker because they're almost more talented, but like Jaquez, for example, is not shooting that well from 3 lately.
Right.
Rozier and Hero sort of do the same exact shit.
Yeah.
Duncan Robinson is better, but they don't have a backup big. And Porzingis, for example, if they're going against the Celtics, Porzingis has just murdered them. Like it's kind of why the Celtics got Porzingis, because they're not going to be able to play that zone against them anymore. So it's just going to be. I just think it's another tough road, and they barely squeaked out the last road. I would feel better about this team maybe next year.
Yeah.
But they got to stay out of this playing shit, like, because eventually it's
Yeah.
going to haunt them. And I think the reckoning is going to come at some point this season.
Point.
I agree. They're 6th right now,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
but
There you
just
go.
barely.
I think they can handle any of those mid-tier teams. But I think it's just going to be tough.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, definitely.
We shall see.
We shall see.
All right, Danny, who you got next?
We got the Pacers. Where to go with the Pacers? Guess their main concern is their biggest strength and weakness. The Pacers playing with pace despite their lack of defense. They're just not going to be able to run it down everyone's throats come postseason.
Yeah.
And that's why they are so good. They're all such a good, fun young team. But postseason basketball, it tends to be slower, it just changes. You don't make those open transition threes as much. You don't get those easy looks on transition layups.
Yeah.
So that's what I wrote down.
They just give up too many shots at the rim. They're
Yeah.
still 30th on the year in rim attempts
Yeah.
allowed.
Rough.
And Halliburton has, ever since that he came back from that injury, has just not
Hasn't looked
been
as
the
good.
same.
Yeah.
He's the 22 game stretch, and when he came back from the injury, he averaged 15 points per game and shot 28% from three. He's been
Ouch.
better over his last 7 contests.
Yeah, he has.
But yeah, I just think the defense is too weak, and you're right. Like, it's harder. It gets harder to run and gun because teams are much more methodical, and you have to be ready to play in that methodical style.
Exactly. I'm concerned, because they already don't care about the defense. They've shown that all season long.
And if you're not gonna stop people in the half court, and you're getting slowed down a bit in the half court.
Yeah,
it's not gonna work.
It's gonna be tough, man. It's gonna be tough.
But
can the Pacers?
I think you can surprise
you
can surprise one team. You're just not gonna. I mean, winning a round for them would be phenomenal.
It'd be huge.
But
huge.
If you look at some of the teams that they might play, I mean, they've had good success against the Bucks, it's not a bad matchup for them against the Bucks because the Bucks are not a very athletic. Besides Giannis, are just not a very athletic team.
Yeah.
So they can get up and run and gun. But I feel like all these other teams, Orlando, Knicks, Miami, Cleveland, are just going to be able to stall them enough and be more. They all have guards who can be Orlando doesn't really have a guard, but their defense is amazing.
Yeah.
But I think those other guards from those other teams will be able to control pace a little better. And I don't know. It's not their year yet.
Yeah.
They got to find some defensive pieces and some defensive answers.
Yeah, they're still figuring it out for sure. All right, Chuck, what you got next?
Okay, who I got next? Let's see here. Oh, I got the Mavs.
Guaranteed.
Is the defense sustainable for any length of time? Let's see here. It just feels like this team goes up and down. Their sort of defensive effort. They're fourth in defense over this last stretch. And I thought the game the other night against the Warriors, they didn't lose that game because of their defense. They lost it because of their offense, funny enough. Draymond really screwed their pick and roll game up, which kind of got them out of that. They haven't played a lot of great teams in this stretch. It's been a lot of middle teams. But I do like the length that they have. Derek Jones Jr., PJ Washington, Exum, Josh Green, Kleba.
Gafford,
right? And at least like now they're not going to be stuck in a playoff series with Tim Hardaway Jr. guarding, say, a Paul George or Kawhi on a lot of possessions. Like the depth is much better. When you look back at those series against the Clippers, who they might have to play, all they had was Finney-Smith and Kleber as their main wing defenders.
Yeah.
And Josh Richardson was coming off the bench. So that's not much of a rotation. Now Kleber's like coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Which is that's a good bench role. Still going to be able to hunt Kyrie a bit. Still going to be able to hunt Luka a bit.
Yeah.
But I'm just really questioning whether they can sustain this, because if you look at their year, here's their year of stretches, right? I'll say that. So on October 25th, they went on a 8-2 stretch. Then on November 14th, starting on November 14th, they went 3-6. And then on December 6th, they went 5-1. And then on December 18th, 2-5. December 30th, then they went 5-2. January 9th, 4-8. February 5th, 7-0. February 25th, 1-5. March 7th, 6-1. It's just like
It's a seesaw
it's a seesaw.
Yeah.
So they're up right now.
or
But
a rocking horse, maybe.
Who knows where they're gonna be? So maybe they can play enough defense and just outscore teams. I got no questions about this offense. Like I know Golden State kind of screwed up some of their actions last night or the other night, but I don't know. We'll see if it's enough against, say, a Clippers squad. It'll be interesting to tell because they do have more wingy, rangy defenders, but they still don't have a lot of size there. And it's just a question of whether they can keep it up.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because if they can keep up, they don't have to be fourth in the league, but if they could be, a top 12, be in the 10-12 range of defense, if like that's the kind of defense they are, I don't know.
Make a
Maybe
big
their
difference.
offense could carry them to conference finals if they don't have to play the Nuggets,
They've been to a conference finals. Right?
I know. This is a better team than that team.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's my concern here.
Hmm.
Any Mavs thoughts, y'all?
Is Luca
no.
a trash eater?
What's up?
Is Luca a trash eater?
What do you mean?
Nothing. Never mind.
You just hate Luca.
Yeah, I'm just hating on Luca.
I think Luca's been an awesome season.
No, he's been playing.
He's been
playing the
fantastic.
lights out. I'm just asking if he plays, too much by himself, too much ISO, too many
Well,
touches.
I actually think he gives more touches to Kyrie now, which is kind of good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though he still just stands over there, but at least he's just so good.
Yeah.
It's
No, for
unbelievable.
sure. Undeniable.
I don't know if they can get up to 5 or 4, dragging this team to. If they could get the 4 seed, he'd be my number 2 in my MVP.
Okay. You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Speaking of the Warriors, they're my next team, and my movie for them is Hereditary. Portrait of a Family Falling Apart. I think the Warriors' struggles have been well documented this season by us and by every media outlet. So I'm just going to go with an extended metaphor here.
Okay.
Clay's head got bumped off by a scaffolding pole, and he was never the same. Draymond is possessed by some sort of self-sabotaging demon. Steph, like the father, is trying to keep a cool head and still thinks there might be a way to get through this, but he's losing hope. And Mom, Steve Kerr, is living in a fantasy land of miniatures. Get it? Because of small ball.
I got it.
Although they have been playing well as of late, it just, I don't know. The other teams seem to have figured them out. I don't see them going that far in this year's
Ooh.
playoffs. But, I love the Warriors. I'd love to see them in it. So, who knows?
Yeah. Put me in the category of it's just going to be too difficult for them at this stage of their year.
Yeah.
They're too far behind. They put
Yeah.
themselves in too much of a hole.
Yeah.
To get out of.
They're on a win streak, but they're still clinging to that 10th seed
Yeah.
above the Rockets. And it's
Yeah.
just like,
They played the most games in the clutch this league. 44. So
Yeah.
half of their games are in clutch time. They're negative 3.8 in those affairs, which is, sometimes clutch time doesn't go so well, but
yeah.
to just play that many games, it's just been a stressful year.
yeah.
12 have blown 12-point leads 13 times. It's too
Yeah.
far. They've been pushed too far.
Too far
I
down
do
the
think
road.
they need a big. Like, the league has evolved, and I've been
Yeah.
saying this all year. League has evolved. They need bigs. They need more talented players. Kuminga, of course, has been out, but this is going to be too hard to win two play-in games, and then you get Denver.
Yeah.
Good,
Yeah,
good luck.
I
just
just don't
fucking
see it.
luck.
No
Good
way.
luck, buddy.
Yeah.
So,
All right, moving on.
Moving
we
on.
got It's me. I got the Sacramento Kings. This is another one I kind of phoned in because I'm going to be honest, I barely watched any Sacramento basketball this year. I mean, the games I have watched, fun,
Fun.
but I don't remember them, even when I do watch them. So I put Malik Monk's injury, him being out. He's out 6 weeks. He got injured like a week or two ago. It's tough.
That's. I mean, when I wrote little notes. That's what I have down.
Yeah.
because he's kind of like their third star.
Yeah,
in a way.
he's their third option. He's the favorite for Sixth Man of the Year this year.
And when Fox, he brings a lot of energy, and when Fox
So much energy.
sometimes like looks lost for a quarter,
Yeah.
Bunk will come in and all of a sudden he looks
Saves it.
better than Fox sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's not a better player than Fox, but he can emulate what Fox does, and they kind of don't lose that at any
Exactly.
point in the game. Sad to see, but yeah, I
Yeah.
kind of agree. That kind of just dooms them,
Kinda
and they
need
don't
him
no
to-
herder either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
real tough.
injury concerns.
Injury concerns as a whole.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I think they don't really have a shot against any of these good teams. He
Yeah.
provides so much scoring and creation for them.
Yeah,
He's
he's like
been
just
averaging like
energy.
18 this year.
Yeah, he's
17
been
and a half.
so good.
So good.
Love me, Malik Monk.
Love
but-
me some Monk.
but-
Gotta have me some Monk.
Can he still win Sixth Man of the Year?
Yeah, I think he
I
can.
think he's still gonna win it.
Okay.
All right, moving on. What Chuck? What you got next?
What you got?
I got the Lake Show.
Ooh, ticket to LA.
This is just similar to almost the Warriors. They've been really good kind of lately, but is everything just going to be too hard for them? First of all, they have to avoid the Nuggets, which might just be impossible at this point in time because they also have to win, likely going to have to win 2 play-in games and play the 1 seed. OKC seems like they're sitting players to avoid the matchup.
Yeah.
But if they got to play the Nuggets in the first round, they're screwed. And they have the worst point differential out of every possible Western playoff team. 0.4. AD and Braun have had remarkably healthy seasons, but they're 14th on offense, 14th on defense. It's kind of an average team that can bump up a level at times because LeBron is the second best player of all time and AD is an awesome co-star. But I just think it's eventually, I don't know, they could beat a lot of teams, right? But eventually this road is it's going to be too hard for a 39-year-old to
Yeah.
lead this team through 3 rounds of the 2 play-in games and 3 rounds of the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's another team that just, if they were maybe the 6th seed or the 7th seed, you could see making a bit of a run. But it's going to be too hard for them. Too many games in too many days with too much intensity. Eventually, they're going to run out of gas. It's just going to happen.
Didn't LeBron say he doesn't have much time left?
Yeah, he doesn't have much time left. I mean, they're in a 26 and 14th stretch. They're 3rd on offense. They were 17 and 19. Now they're like 43 and 33. 3rd on offense in that stretch, 20th on defense. And I think Anthony Davis can up the defense, but it's just Anthony Davis has played the 5th most minutes. LeBron's 39.
Yeah.
I could see them upsetting a team.
Yeah.
Maybe they could upset 2 teams again. I don't know, but I just think eventually they don't have the gas in the tank.
I also heard, I think LeBron leads the league in 4th quarter scoring. Something like that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I think so.
Maybe.
But so yeah, that's kind of my take.
I agree.
The concern is it's just going to be too hard for them.
It's too hard. A
Yeah.
tough road.
Yeah.
Tougher road.
Tough road. Good guys.
Good guys.
Good guys.
But just not in the position. If they
Yeah.
were the 5 or the 6
Yeah.
or the 4, like
Oh yeah.
You
like 'em much
now. You're
more.
like you like them much more, but their path is just going to be so
Really,
difficult.
It's a
really
tough
West
path.
is way better than it was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, give it to
Ready?
us, Mac.
The 76ers are the shining. All work and no play
Ooh.
makes Joel a dull boy.
Uh-oh.
They're currently sitting in 8th place in the East, 2.5 games behind both the Heat and the Pacers. Embiid's return bodes well, of course, but he says he wants to go on a run to finish the season. If they do end up in the play-in, that puts some wear and tear on the 30-year-old MVP, even before they have to face a challenging top seed like the Celtics or the Bucks. Eventually, rebuilding the chemistry, getting in the necessary reps, and avoiding injury may be a tall order for these guys, although they've racked up some impressive wins recently, and they're certainly a powerhouse with Embiid. 27-8 with Embiid, 14-27 without him. He's certainly a menace. How deeply can they tap into his madness? Meaning, will he come back at 100%, and how long will he last in the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, for a guy who has had conditioning problems in big playoff games, this is going to be a big test because that's what the Celtics do to him is they just tire him out, and they've been tiring him out for a long time now. And I think that's pretty replicable. Also to get like in the groove with the new teammates,
Right? Yeah, the chemistry.
And,
You have to.
that's going to be tough.
Rebuild
It's gonna be
all
tough,
that.
man.
But he healed.
But
Yeah, he's been out.
I
for
think
more
they
than
could
half
give
a year.
why couldn't they give the Bucks a run for their money? In
Oh, the Bucks have plenty of
Ooh,
problems of their own.
Bucks.
Yeah,
I could see
Yeah.
it.
I could see them beating the Bucks.
but
for sure.
I do think eventually, I don't know, that wear and tear, it's tough.
Yeah.
They just, again, has not put themselves in a good position because of
No.
his injury,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Not their fault, but just, it's a tough road ahead. So
Yeah, and they're a tough road.
Tis.
I do think that they could give teams trouble. Like even the Celtics,
Oh, yeah.
they could push the Celtics.
Who knows?
So
Maybe they'll come out super fresh.
Yeah.
You know?
maybe.
I don't know how sustainable it will be, but
But it seems like just a lot of unknown factors for a guy who hasn't quite proven it in the playoffs
Oh,
to now. This is going to be the year when he's missed all of this time.
You guys know how I feel about this.
Yeah, we know. But
Indeed.
if they can slide into that 7 seed, I think the Bucks are a better matchup for them.
Yeah.
And then they can avoid the Celtics on, they could get on a run. I could see it. But it really depends on his conditioning. Like, can he sustain in a longer series? Because if they're going to win either that first round series, because they're not getting to the 6th seed.
I mean,
they can't sustain.
It's possible, right?
They can't. I don't know if he's going to be well conditioned enough to last in a long series.
Yeah.
I mean, they did beat the Heat tonight.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But
There's only 1.5 games behind.
No, yeah, they could get there.
how much is it in the loss column?
They have like the Pistons and
35,
Wizards coming up.
41
and
and
the Hornets.
35.
It's one game in the loss column. I think the Heat have the
The tiebreaker.
Tiebreakers.
so
Okay.
it's like 2 games.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Heat have been pretty good recently, actually, just record-wise.
Yep.
Anyway,
True. All right. Moving on to the last.
our
picks.
final 3, the Crown Derby
Derbies.
right here. If you've listened this far, you're amazing.
We salute you and we thank you.
We
All right.
salute you.
I got the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls.
Surely you got a lot of take on this one, huh, Danny?
No, I don't.
You don't have a lot of playoff concerns.
Not much. I mean, they're the 9 or 10 seed. I
9.
put
9th.
I put scoring. If they're one of the worst scoring teams in the league.
Yeah.
I think they're like 9th worst or something like that. I don't remember.
You say it.
Yeah,
I'll
you got
believe
DeRozan, great scorer, right? Okay, like Vooch, can Kobe White,
Yeah,
Pat Williams,
Caruso?
Pat Williams, I think, is out for the year.
Caruso. Oh yeah, Pat Williams is done. Caruso. I like Caruso and AU defensively, but Can these guys step it up so they could get out the play-in and potentially see the first round?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern. You know?
Here's a concern. Here's a concern. Will they be competitive enough? How do I phrase this? Will they be too competitive? So that way they won't want to blow up the team.
Yeah,
I know, right?
They probably will be.
Can they just get blown out by so much in these games that Chicago's management is finally like,
Gonna
I
be
think we
tough.
should give up on this.
The guy, like the Heat, got to be on by like 50 or something.
Well, they almost beat the Heat last year
Yeah,
in that game. They were up,
they did.
but then they
because
couldn't
Rose's
close.
daughter wasn't in the
Couldn't
stands.
close it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Don't got too much faith,
Yeah.
but that's why I put
Playoff concern: will DeRozan's daughter be back?
Yeah.
It's a big one.
big one, baby.
I just hope they run it back next year. I can't wait to see what this team can do.
I don't know.
All right.
Got it.
Similarly,
Yeah.
here I have the Rockets.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
blast off.
And-
Houston,
Yeah. Houston.
we have a concern.
Yeah. My concern is they're not going to make the playoffs at this point. They lost to the Warriors tonight by a
Oof.
lot of points. So now they're 4 games back with only a couple to go. So my concern is, can they just carry these good vibes into next year?
Yeah,
That's it.
a good
I think
concern.
they can, actually.
I think so.
It's a little weird that Jalen Green, who has been kind of awesome, 27.8 points per game, 50% from the field, 40% from 3 since Şengün's injury,
yeah.
Mhm.
has been awesome. It's kind of weird that this has all happened without Şengün, this
Yeah.
whole run.
Mhm.
But you can see it still. Şengün is such an important part for them for getting good shots because Jalen Green still jacks some horrible shots
Yeah.
up. But I like the progression here from Udoka's squad.
Yeah.
Do you
You
think
gotta
Jalen
appreciate
Green
that.
can be better than Jalen Brown one day?
No,
Yeah, I think so.
Oh.
No shot.
I'm
buddy.
still kind of out on Jalen Green.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
still
yeah,
kind of
yeah,
out.
no,
Yeah,
that's
he's
fair,
been
that's
great recently.
You know,
but like a
Can't-
couple months ago, we were criticizing him for the year he was having.
Yeah.
Cam Whitmore.
Yeah.
To me, he looks like Jalen Brown, the way he plays. I like Cam Whitmore a lot.
Oh,
I think their games are very similar.
I can
Oh,
see it,
interesting.
though.
But yeah, I think they just defense has been really good this year. I think they gotta come back with a couple improvements. Şengün needs to get in the lab and shoot some threes.
Yeah.
I think that would help with the
A lot.
spread offense and allow Jalen Green to get in the lane more because Şengün's always occupying that mid-range space or the block. They can really spread it out. He can do this attacking thing that has got him where he's wanted to go this. And the 3-point shot coming around, that's been a big factor, but
Yeah.
it's been a positive stretch run here. Just hopefully they can carry it into next year and maybe they'll actually be in the play-in next year.
Oh, baby.
I'm done.
Okay.
Okay, and for the final team of the evening, the Atlanta Hawks.
Your Hawks.
Anyone want to guess the movie I chose?
The birds.
No, that would have made sense. But no, it was American Psycho.
Oh, not
What-
a horror movie, by the way.
Debatable, but
It's not.
what do you call it?
That's
Yeah,
it.
you're
Go
right.
after him.
Yeah,
Call it a dark comedy.
dark.
Well,
Well,
it's a dark comedy, Ben.
fine. American Psycho, the Hawks.
It's not
No,
a
that's
horror.
fair. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, I never said they would all be
Pick a
horror
different.
movies.
Pick a different one. Pick a different one.
Pick a different one.
Pick a different
now.
one. Okay, the birds. Fuck. Oh wait, Psycho. No, was any of it real? That's my tagline.
Okay.
If you believe, if you really believe, you can get away with murder. A few years ago, the Hawks slashed and strangled their way to a shocking Eastern Conference Finals run where they were reality checked by the long arm of the Bucks, or the long antlers, I should say. Trae Young is currently out indefinitely, although Murray and Bogdanovich have been playing well in his absence. If these ruffians can channel some Patrick Bateman-esque confidence and charge out of the play-in, they might be able to bother a top-seeded team, although one imagines that all the other East teams will be a little extra wary of the Hawks these days. Beating the Celtics twice in the regular season is no small feat. But their 9th in offensive rating and 27th in defense. I'm pretty confident in saying that it's probably not going to happen this year. Good thing Bogdan has that rap career in his back pocket.
Good thing. What's his rap name?
Token.
Token. My
Shout
guy,
out Token, by the way.
Token.
Oh, man.
God.
And that's all I got.
And those are our
Yeah.
playoff concerns for all these potential playoff teams.
I do want to say that they're 11-8 without Trae Young since the injury.
We love it.
Ooh,
We love it.
We love it.
We
Better
love it.
without
We love
Trae.
Larry Bird
That's
theory.
the train
As
I'm
we
on.
call
go
it?
Trey.
That's the train. I'm on the train. Yep.
Oh, the train.
All right.
All right, and
Thank
those are
you.
your playoff concerns.
Thank you.
Hopefully that section didn't drive you into any personal concerns of your own.
Yep,
I'm very concerned.
this is a very concerning segment.
It's time for baseball.
Baseball. Take me out to the ball. That's right, baby. Baseball's back. MLB season is here.
MLB.
And we got some predictions as long as some trivia. Baseball trivia, that is. That's right. I'm doing the trivia this time.
Looks like Mac
Oh,
is stepping up
fuck.
to the plate.
Uh-oh. Mac hits a dinger. All right. Some awards predictions. How you guys want to tackle this? Or, I mean, Charles, you have a bunch of predictions. How you want to tackle this?
Let's just jump through it. We can start with MVP.
You want to start with MVP?
Yeah.
Go for
All
it.
right. Well, I got my prediction and runner-ups
Oh,
for all of these.
Oh, boy.
Because I'll be happy if either of them win.
Oh,
It's called
boy.
shooting a wide net, baby.
Casting a wide net?
Yeah, whatever. Same thing.
What's your prediction for Yippee?
Now you show your stripes.
For Yippee, he's going to jail.
Like a tiger skin. Oh,
All right, AL MVP.
Yeah, sure.
All right, I got Juan Soto,
oh.
Yeah, well, with that,
Dominican in the Bronx.
with that short porch in right field, he should.
Should
No
baby.
excuses.
No excuses.
Got a short porch.
I got Juan Soto, and for runner-up, I got Corey Seager,
I like it.
Texas
Nice.
Rangers,
The
the
Ranger.
defending champions.
Well, that's pretty nice. I also took Soto because of the short porch in right field.
Ooh, look at that, baby. Soto 2
excuse.
for 2. No Shots podcast.
And the vibe.
Great vibes. Yeah, he's got off to a hot start so far in the season.
Yeah, and it
Love to
hasn't
see
even
it.
hit at home yet, so it's not even hit any home runs into that short porch over there.
He just likes being
It's
a
gonna be
Yankee,
so
baby.
easy,
So
wait.
so
easy.
obnoxious.
So
There's
easy.
a house I passed
obnoxious.
on the bus ride here, and they have a little sign outside that says the Soto family.
Ooh, makes you think.
Makes you think.
All right, National League. You got any
MVP
you
picks?
want to throw out one for American League?
Bo Bichette.
Bo Bichette, that's not bad, I guess. Not a bad one at all. All right,
I'm glad he
National
was in the
League
right league.
MVP. I put Mookie. I think Mookie's gonna.
son of a bitch.
No way. We have the same. Good thing I went
Come
these
on.
runner-ups because originally a few months ago, I had a strong feeling about Austin Riley winning it, and I still have that feeling. But I don't know why when I went down to write these notes, Mookie just kept popping up in my head.
Well, Mookie should have won it last year, so he's pissed.
Ooh, he's pissed.
So far this year, he's hitting
Revengeful.
485 with 5 home runs and
Yep.
11 RBIs, and he's got a 1.686 OPS. All those are
Smashing the
first
thing.
in the league.
And my thing is, he's playing shortstop right
And
now.
he's playing shortstop.
So his defensive stats are going to be even better than they were last year because he's playing a more high valued position.
I mean,
Yeah.
he's always been one of the best defenders in the league.
Yeah,
So
Put him
he's
anywhere.
played shortstop, second base. He could play outfield. That just makes you more valuable. So
Oh yeah. Gotta give it to Mookie. All right, pretty good. You have a guess, Ben? Any
Pete Alonso.
You looked up Mets. Did you just Google Mets?
I know who's on the Mets. But I am Googling teams frantically.
I love it. I mean, that's a good guess. It's in the contract year. I like it.
No, what about like Acuna?
Smash
though?
50.
Acuna.
Acuna repeat.
Yeah, I could
Love
see
it.
it. Sure, why not?
Why not?
Shohei?
Shohei, he could. Maybe not. He's only DHing this year.
Oh, yeah. I thought he
But,
might
Yeah,
have
if
been
he was
reduced.
pitching.
I mean, if he hits like 55 home runs, he could still win it.
What about Corbin Carroll?
He could. He was a candidate last year. By the way, I love this Diamondback squad. The
I
team they
loved
put
him.
together
I loved
is
watching
good.
him last year.
Yeah, no, he's great.
Yeah.
He's great.
Corbin Carroll. That's my pick.
All right. Cy Young. Moving on over to pitching, the Hurlers. Do you want to go first, Charles?
Yeah, I'm
In case
gonna go
I steal
first
yours?
because you stole both of mine last time.
Oh,
All right,
boy.
I'll start with the AL. This is a weird year. I was looking at the
Yeah.
odds. Some of the names are real strange. Some people I'd never even heard of. Of
Yeah.
course, at the top of the list of the odds, you had Gosman,
Yeah.
Burns, Castillo, Valdez. Okay,
Yeah.
and then who are these guys? Tariq Skubal. You heard of this guy?
That's
my
Danny's
pick.
That's Danny's pick. I knew it. It made a face at me.
Scuba from the
Cole
Detroit Tigers.
Reagans. Who's Cole Reagans?
Actually, I'm not sure who Cole Reagans
Well,
is.
he's got the sixth most
I'm not a system.
Really?
I am a
odds. Yeah. Pablo Lopez, I heard of him.
Yeah. Yeah, this season last
I went with George Kirby. Why not?
year. George Kirby.
Some
I like
wonderful
it.
guys.
I like it. George Kirby, I heavily considered.
Cole would just win this, right, if he was healthy.
Oh, yeah. Come on. Come on. It's the Cole train, baby.
Coltrane.
Choo-choo. Yeah, I went to Scooble. I have a good feeling he's been nasty since they called him up. He's got nasty stuff. But I also went with the runner-up. I went with also another Seattle Mariner. I went Logan Gilbert.
Logan Gilbert.
Yeah,
Okay.
he lost some velocity last season. I'm hoping he gets it back. But yeah, I almost went Kirby. I obviously almost went Castillo, Pablo Lopez. All right. National League.
I'm taking Strider. It's
Strider.
about time.
That's fair. Strider. I think Strider's the obvious pick.
It is.
So I went with Freddie Peralta from the Milwaukee Brewers. That's right. Brewers get another one. Peralta's always been overshadowed by Burns and Woodruff in his Brewers tenders. Now he's finally the ace. Those guys are gone. It's Peralta's time. I also went Logan
Woodruff's
Reb.
just injured, right?
Uh-huh.
What?
Woodruff's just injured, right?
He's injured and he's a free agent. They just let him go
I
because he's
see.
injured.
You Darvish. That's my pick.
You Darvish? I like it. I almost went with Musgroves as the runner-up. Logan Webb was
Casey
my
Musgroves.
Yeah, Casey Musgrove. Give her the Grammy.
Give her the Cy Young.
All right, I got Rookie of the Years.
Okay.
American League. I went with 2 Texas Rangers. I think Wyatt Langford's gonna win, but Evan Carter was so damn good in a small sample size last year.
No holiday love whenever they decide.
You know, I'm scared of when they're gonna bring him up. That's
Yeah.
why I didn't go. These guys are right
Are they
here.
not bringing him up because?
They want to manipulate that service time. You know,
this is just
So-
just stupid. Why can't the
It's-
PA,
Yeah,
the MLB PA, just
he's
get that
clearly
shit out of
ready.
there?
Yeah. He's clearly ready. I mean, they've done small things to get it out of there to help it a little bit, but you know, teams are still going to try to take advantage. They tried with Adley, but he got too many Rookie of the Year votes, so he got the full year. In National League, we got 2 Jacksons. I went with Jackson Merrill, outfielder for the San Diego Padres, but Jackson Churio from the Brewers got a big 10-year, $8 million contract as a 19-year-old before he even sniffed the big leagues.
Wow.
So yeah, they got a lot riding on him.
Wow.
All right. Any other predictions, Chuck? Oh, Ben, do you guys?
I don't know
want to
any
take it?
rookies.
Yeah.
I
No worries.
Yeah, me either.
Aaron Judge.
Except for holiday.
Um,
I got division winners
division winners. You know what? I'll make some.
and
I'll
wild card.
Go with
Okay.
you.
Okay. Well, in the East.
Yeah.
AL East. We'll start there. I have the Orioles.
Yeah, me too.
And in the AL West, I have the Astros.
Yeah, me too.
And in the AL Central, I'm taking the Detroit Tigers.
Whoa! Stop. That's where we're gonna disagree. I still got the Twins.
You got the Twins. I
do like the Tigers this year.
had the Guardians there for a little bit, but I thought I'd go with there's always a surprise team. And that's the division I feel like there would be a surprise team.
Yeah.
My wild card teams are the Blue Jays, the Yankees, and the Rangers.
Yep, good wild card teams. I got the same 3, I think.
Gotcha. Okay, shifting over to the NL. In the East, I have the Braves.
Yeah, the Braves. They're just so fucking good, so deep.
And in the West, I have the Dodgers.
West Dodgers, yep.
And the Central, Cubbies. Come on. It's
Cubbies.
the Cubbies year.
It's the Cubbies year. I got the Cubbies too. I'm sipping the Kool-Aid.
Sipping the Kool-Aid. Wild card teams, I got Phillies, D-backs, and Giants.
Whoa. Phillies, D-backs, and Giants. I got the Phillies, D-backs. Let's see. Do we got another? Get my red squeak in there. No, probably not. Yeah, I like the Giants. Yeah.
Miami was there last year, right?
I don't like Miami.
They don't have their
at all.
pitcher. They don't have Alcantara.
Is
that his name? I didn't like that.
Last year.
Okay. And then in the AL for the pennant, I have the Orioles over the Rangers.
Oh.
I went pretty chalk here.
Okay.
And in the NL, I have the Braves over the Phillies this time.
Oh.
None of that Philly crap this year.
No Philly crap.
Harper's Magazine is
so
dumb.
Orioles.
So Orioles and Braves. And
I like it.
And I'm taking the Braves.
Oh, baby. Whoa. Not me.
What do you got?
I got Yankees versus Phillies in the World Series, baby.
Woo.
And I won't pick a winner.
I'll take
What
that.
are you talking about? You got to pick
I'm
a
not
winner.
picking a winner. That's what I got.
I'm taking your. I'm
You're taking your
piggybacking. I'm taking that. Whatever he said.
I'm piggybacking.
Yeah.
Yankees, Phillies.
You guys are drinking some Kool-Aid.
A
I'll take the
rematch of the
Yankees to win it.
2009's World Series. Why not?
28th.
Why
Not
not?
happening.
Hang the pennant.
All right. So those are your MLB predictions. Still got some MLB to talk in.
You have some trivia.
Oh, trivia. I forgot about trivia.
All right, today's trivia. Every team's most recent MVP. You get a point if you know the name of the player, and a point.
We have to go through all the teams?
No.
Oh,
I have 10.
okay.
We could. I was just gonna start with 5. We could do an extra 5 if we want to keep going.
Sure.
And you get a point if you get the year correctly.
Okay.
All right. Good luck, Ben.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
I'm not gonna get a lot.
I'll give it
either.
my best.
We'll see.
My
We'll
best
see.
shot.
All
No, it's okay.
right. We're starting off with the defending champs, Texas Rangers. Should I pick someone to go first? I guess we'll pick Ben because Ben's never done trivia.
You want me
go
to
for it?
pick the Texas Rangers?
Yeah,
MVP?
most recent MVP.
Bro,
You have
a single
A
person.
name or year,
Oh, or a year. Okay.
or you'll get both points for both.
2005.
2005, wrong.
Do you want a name as well?
Yeah,
Just
if you
make
want,
up a
if you
name.
want to guess.
I don't want to
yeah.
guess a name.
Okay, you don't have to.
I
No worries.
I just have none.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Okay. I'll go with Alex Rodriguez.
Ooh, he did win the MVP for the Texas Rangers 2003, but it's not their most recent.
Did Seager
Oh,
win?
their most recent MVP.
No, Seager
Uh,
had an MVP season last year, but missed like 30, 40 games. It was
Josh. No,
Yeah, it was Josh Hamilton.
Josh Hamilton.
Yep. So I'll give you guys no points for that.
All right.
The year was 2010. All right, we're going back to Ben. Arizona Diamondbacks. The team they beat in the World Series.
I know that.
Do you know their most recent MVP?
It was 2009. Johnny Akers.
Johnny Akers is incorrect. How about you, Chuck? You got any guesses here?
I didn't get the year right.
Diamondbacks.
No, you did not.
Diamondbacks. Nah. It's not Randy Johnson. So I'm out. Wait. Paul Goldschmidt.
It's a great guess. He finished second once. I forget what year. I think 2018 or something.
2006.
No. Turns out it's a trick question. The Diamondbacks have never had an MVP. Never in the history.
He just did this to murder us.
This is just revenge for
thought
Danny's
this would be
losing
a fun
at
trivia. I
trivia.
thought this would be a fun trivia.
Oh boy.
So wait. Diamondbacks. I could have swore Luis Gonzalez won in 2001, but no, that was a Barry Bonds hit 70 home runs that year. Of course he didn't.
Yeah.
But there are 3 MLB teams that have never won the MVP. The Diamondbacks are one of them. Another team may come up later. Just keep that in mind. I didn't use all 3.
Just guess it for everyone, Ben.
You could do that. You
I
could do that. All right. We got move along. We got the Houston Astros. I'm going to start with Chuck here. Houston Astros. Most recent MVP.
Was it last year? Jordan Alvarez?
Wrong.
They've never won an MVP.
They got one. I'll give you a hint, Ben. They've got an MVP. They've probably got multiple. Do you have their most recent MVP? A name or a year?
Think of
or both.
The Astros players, Ben. You got
that guy, Kyle. What's his name?
Kyle Tucker.
No, it wasn't him.
He's a fan favorite for this year's MVP, but
probably a little short guy.
Altuve.
He
was
that
the MVP.
Is correct.
Oh yeah.
But
put me on the board.
Point? I said that.
Well,
I was thinking of
it.
I was thinking of it.
Ben's on the board. Okay, do you have the year for 2 points?
2017.
That is correct. 2017, you robbed Aaron Judge. It was the tall king versus the short king.
Of course.
And Altuve came up on top.
That's what this all comes back to.
And also,
I ship it.
Also, went on to win the World Series that year.
Yeah.
There's a few of those. Actually, I put many of those on that list. Never mind. So I didn't write the year for this one. That's great. Anyways. All right, number 4. We got these are all the best teams last year. The teams that finished deep in the playoffs, so the first 5. We got the Phillies. Does anyone know the Phillies' most recent Philadelphia Phillies most recent MVP?
You take this.
We'll go with Charles here.
I don't think Bryce Harper won it with him, but I'll say Bryce Harper.
That is correct. Bryce Harper won it. Do you have a year, Sir Charles?
What year is it? It's 2024. I'll go with 2021.
That is correct. He won the MVP in 2021.
There goes my fucking lead.
And now we are tied 2-2.
Whoa,
right. Big guesses from Charles and Mac. I had to remember your nickname. All right. The 15, we got the Baltimore Orioles.
Never.
We'll start with Ben because they so confidently said never. It's a great guess, Ben, but it's untrue. They have multiple MVPs.
Oh, great.
Now we're moving on to Chuck. Any guesses of the most recent MVP?
This one's got to be Johnny Akers.
Go, Johnny,
I
go.
know he won one at least.
He's
once.
got one.
He's got
for
one
sure.
for sure. Oh, man. It's on the mantle.
My big question is, was Cal Ripken ever quite good enough to win an MVP? And I'm going to say no. So I'm going to go with Brooks Robinson, the old third baseman
You should have stuck to your gut. As Cal Ripken won an MVP. Do you have a year?
1996.
Wrong. It was 1991.
I was
His
gonna say
MVP year.
1992. That was my first shot.
Ooh, would have been closer.
Yeah.
But still wrong. All right. Do you guys want to keep going? We're tied 2-2.
I guess we gotta
Guess we
break the
should.
tie.
It's the bottom of the 11th.
Next
and
goal
the next
wins.
run wins.
All right.
All right. We'll start. We'll head this one to Ben. Number 16. We got the New York Mets. The New York Mets.
boy.
Their most recent MVP.
Daryl Strawberry.
Ooh, good guess. The straw man is wrong.
Okay, I gotta give you a year.
Yeah. Do you have a year?
Fuck, 2010.
Wrong.
Son of a
Moving to
bitch.
Chuck. What is the New York Mets' most recent MVP?
Beltran probably was never good enough to win with the Mets. All right, probably. I'm gonna go with Mike Piazza.
Egg Piazza.
Mr. Pizza.
Do you have a year?
2000.
Doesn't matter because it's wrong. The Mets are one of the 3 teams to never get an MVP.
Ben.
I fucking knew it.
I was so
fucking
confident
knew
that
it.
Ben was going to guess
I
this
should have
one.
said that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
30
really.
minutes.
That was my first thought, but yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
fairness
It's
to
like the Nets got
guessing that I didn't use the third team. The third team I'll give you guys points I'll give you 3 points if you could guess the third team to never have an MVP.
the Kansas City Royals.
Nope, that is wrong. How about you, Chuck? Do you have a guess?
I will go with the Guardians franchise.
That is wrong.
Who is it?
It's the Tampa Bay Rays.
Oh,
All right, moving on. We have the Cincinnati.
still tied.
Still tied. We got
Surprise.
the Cincinnati Reds.
Who's up?
I'll give it to Chuck.
Joey Votto.
Joey Votto is correct. Do we have a year?
2013.
That is wrong, but you get the point for Votto. It was 2010. I should have gave Ben a chance to guess the year, but
No, but doesn't that just mean Chuck wins? He got the next point.
Well, you get.
Oh,
You're in the bottom
I'm
of the
home- I'm
inning.
home.
You get
Not
a
yet. You
chance
get a
to
chance.
respond.
all right. Well,
But if
we're-
it's wrong,
you're done.
It's
it's
done.
a 3-2 win.
okay, I'll take it. Fair enough.
In the bottom of what feels like the 27th inning.
It's like
How
that
about this,
Cleveland.
Ben? I'll let you pick. I have 3 teams left. I have the Guardians, I have the Mariners, and I have the Nationals.
This is not going to go well.
I'll let you pick
Oh God.
what team to start with here.
I'll take the Mariners. Why not?
The Mariners. Can you name their most recent MVP?
What's that guy's name? JD Martinez.
He's never played for them.
Oh, what was I thinking of then?
No, you are thinking of
Edgar Martinez?
Edgar Martinez.
Edgar?
Yeah,
Sure.
come on.
Probably.
No, but yeah. Ken Griffey Jr.
Ooh, he did win MVP, but he is not their most recent. Would you like a chance to steal Charles?
Is it Ichiro?
It's Ichiro.
That was my next
Suzuki.
guess.
Any year, Ben?
I don't remember. 1999.
Wrong. It was 2001.
2001.
Ah,
2001.
I was gonna say that.
Well,
All
that
right.
means Charles wins 4-2.
well
Woo!
played, Chucky.
Well played. Yeah, you would have been pissed if I gave you the Guardians, Ben.
Oh, what? Yeah. Why was that another trick question?
No, it was just the oldest I have on this list.
1923.
was that?
1953, Al Rosen.
Who the fuck?
That's actually a perfect question for Ben because they'll pull some shit like
Right?
that.
Yeah,
Actually, I think it was a guy named Al.
It was a guy named
That's
Al.
correct.
Yeah.
I think you guys have talked about him, right?
Al
recently.
Rosen. Sure.
Bat lever.
Bat lever. You like that one?
Any guesses for the Nationals MVP?
Who's that guy on the Mariners who has a nickname? J-Rod?
J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez,
Yeah, is that him?
It's not on the Nationals.
Mariners.
Mariners. Yeah,
Okay.
he's a favorite for this year.
That's who I was
think.
thinking of.
Oh, that's fair. But no,
Anyway.
he hasn't won one. Yeah. Nationals. No guesses.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Gabriel Cummings.
Soto didn't win one with the Nationals, did he?
No, he did not.
No.
He's never won MVP.
Okay.
No, he didn't.
Charlie Morgenstern.
That's hard. I don't know. Tell us.
It's Bryce Harper.
Bryce Harper.
2015.
Oh my
He
god.
has one with the Nats and one with the Phillies. And
Boy.
could win another this year.
Wow.
Well, that's been your
Trivia.
The demoralizing version.
trivia.
Oh,
Trivia.
trivia hard mode.
I get demoralized in basketball trivia and in baseball.
Baseball trivia.
Yeah.
There
yeah,
you
you're
go.
getting the worst of both
What am I
worlds.
going to come up? I'm going to make you
You
guys
can
do
put-
football.
You could have us do
trivia.
football trivia or whatever. I'll do
Yeah,
it.
why not?
Yeah.
Football. Well,
Who won the Super Bowl in 1976?
oh shoot.
The
76, was that the Dolphins year?
That's 72.
Yeah. I don't know.
Green Bay Packers.
Packers. It's possible.
76.
Possible.
The Bears.
Probably one of the years the Vikings
That's
lost.
86.
Oh, the 86 Bears.
Probably like Staubach.
76 is probably the Steelers.
Oh, I was
The
thinking
Steelers,
next
yeah.
guy.
I think it's
Steelers
Steelers.
franchise. Yep. Oh, that has been some fun trivia.
That's it, right? We could wrap it up.
That's it.
That's
We
it.
can-
We're done.
All right. Thanks for listening to the No Shots podcast.
The Steelers
Yeah.
won the 1976 Super Bowl. I
Very
have
good.
a
Beat the Vikings.
crazy
Chuck has a
memory for Super
Perfect
Bowls.
memory of
Yeah.
Super Bowls, including scores. And
They beat the
we're going
Vikings.
to dive into that next time.
They beat the Cowboys.
Oh, the Cowboys.
It was
Everybody
the
wants to be a cow.
Lynn Swan catch year.
The
Yeah.
Lynn Swan.
Lynn Swan. All right.
I'm a cowboy, baby.
Yeehaw!
All right. That ends this exciting episode. Catch the No Shots podcast on YouTube and Spotify.
And Spotify.
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
And that's us.
That's a wrap.
Goodbye.
So long.
So long.
The No Shots podcast is brought to you by Dank Delish Coffee. You can find Dank Delish Coffee beans at dankdelish.com and have their deliciousness shipped right to your lovely abode. Start your morning with a cup of delish. You can also follow the No Shots podcast on Spotify and YouTube. Like and comment. Thanks for listening to the show.